Hi everyone, it's Dasher Dave here again. I'm back for another crafty video. So today I am taking part, I can't stop myself from smiling, I am taking part in the December Daily. So it is Friday the 22nd of December, nearly Christmas, and it is my day to do the December Daily collaboration, which is hashtag 2023 DD Advent. Okay, so with December Daily Collaboration and Dash of Dave, day 222, there's a lot of D's in this, so I'm really sorry if I can't speak. So, without further ado, I'm going to get on. So, you'll never believe it, but it took me longer than is totally necessary for me to have written that. My writing, I hate my writing, but I did it for you, Tracy. So, here we go. So, this is what I'm going to do. Now, you've all seen the kit, and you've seen, like, you know, you've probably all bought it, probably should have done by now, and if you haven't, why the hell not? Go and buy it. But I have already cut things out. I know, me being prepared, what am I like? Except for everything is now upside down, because I tipped it out terribly, but never mind. So, if you're new here, hello, welcome. You know, please consider subscribing. If you're, you know, new here and, you know, you think, who is this person? I'm Dash of Dave, and well, my name's Dave, but like, I'm Dash of Dave, and we all need a bit of Dash of Dave in our life. We all need a dash of Dave in our life. Shut up, Dave. I'd say shut up, Dave, a lot. So, before I got on with it, hello and welcome back to everybody that already follows me. So, this is what we're going to make. We are going to make something with these. Now, all I've done is I've printed, this is some of the background papers that you get in the kit, okay, and I've printed this on some 200 GSM card, so it's thicker than paper, but not as thick as like construction card, that sort of thing. So 200 GSM, don't know what the equivalent is in pounds, I'm really sorry. So I am going to start. So what you're going to need to do to make this, if you want to make this, indeed, is you're going to need to, no, you don't need your scoreboard yet, Dave. You're going to need to cut this to being 8 by 8, okay? So, which bit do I want to use? Which bit? It doesn't really matter, Dave. It's all as beautiful as the rest. And the singing is optional, but, you know, anybody that knows me knows that for me, singing is not optional. It's just part of my life, so. So 8 by 8, so we'll cut that down. So I didn't prepare that bit, but you know, that's an 8 by 8 piece of paper, card, whatever. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take it and decide the orientation you want it. We're going to make like a tag. We're going to make a gatefold style tag. Okay, so you've got to think about which bit do you want inside, which bit do you want outside. I want this on the outside, so this will be face up while I score, because anything you press in should become an outie. If it's an innie, when you score it, it should be an outie when you're finished. Okay, so so this is 8 by 8. Okay, so we're going to have a middle bit that is 4. And so that means that the reason why it's 8 is you're going to have a gatefold of one gate is going to be 2 and the other gate is going to be 2. So we're going to score at the 2 line. I'm just going to flip it round because it's easier. So and then we're going to score again at 2. Okay, now we're going to take that off, and then we are going to lose the scoreboard. Try not to let it fall off in the background. So once we've done that, we're just going to put that score line in. Okay, and we're going to do that. And we're going to do that. Try not to crease it as well, Dave. That's a good idea. There we go. There we go. So we've got this gatefold now, okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn it into a tag, okay. So I'm going to use this as my guide. So what I mean by that is I'm going to decide whereabouts I might have, because it's going to have a front, a tag on the front. I'm going to decide where I want it, because I want this to marry up the the angle, that's the word, angle. So I want it to kind of marry up on the angle. Okay, so I fear that I might not be able to speak properly today, so I'm a little bit nervous. This is the first time I've ever done a collaboration, and I can't believe that Tracie wanted my lunacy involved. So, but you know, grateful to her. I am very grateful to you, Tracie, and I'm very grateful for your friendship as well. So there we go. So we've made it basically just the same kind of shape. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we are going to pick a front. Now, the reason why I picked these, so it seems like a very strange mix. There is a bit of a theme, can you see? It's birds. Okay, birds and flowers. I love birds and flowers. But I've gone for these. These particularly reminded me very much of Hungarian folk art. Now, for those of you that don't know, my partner is Hungarian, and he's ever suffering. He doesn't live with me, thank goodness. He'd have killed me by now. But he has helped me on the, you know, the Hungarian folk art that I've really started to get into. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this tag, okay, onto some card, which again is some of the background card, and all I've done is I've printed it on both sides. Okay, so I'm going to mount this onto here because I want to cut it with a bit of a frame, a border around it. Okay. Now I'm going to try not to cough all the way through this, but I might have to take a drink every now and again. So now that I've had a drink, I can do this. Now I'm just going to use some glue to glue it down with. The glue that I'm using is, goodness only knows what's in here. It's got a bit of art glitter glue in it. It's got some pent art. It's also got some bookbinding glue. It's basically whatever I can get in here. And the reason why I use different things is because A, I'm trying to use up all the old bottles of glue I've got, and B, you know, I find that bookbinding and pent art are all very much the same. The thing I do love, don't get me wrong, I do love art glitter glue. However, in the UK, the weather's a bit cold and it starts to go a bit runny, so I have to mix it with other things to keep it going. So okay, so I've just stuck that on there. So this is the kind of border I want. Okay, and I'm just going to mirror that around the rest of it. Okay, so I'm just going to cut it down to being roughly the same. Now you can use scissors, but I'm using a blade because I usually use a blade. You know, you'd think I was a danger with a blade, but I'm more of a danger with a pair of scissors, to be fair. So, okay, so I'll do that bit and pop that out of the way. And we're going to do this around. So it's just so it gives it a bit of a border. So, because this is going to be our closure for the gatefold. So, and it might not be perfect, but as I've always said, it doesn't need to be perfect. Perfection doesn't exist. And this is a Leo saying this, so like, you know, to say perfection doesn't exist is like sacrilege. People will be saying, I thought you were a Leo. Of course perfection exists in you. Yes, this is very true, but no, oops, ting. So, yeah, there we go. So we've got kind of our little frame, and this is going to be our closure on the front of here. Okay, so this is going to be the thing that keeps it closed. And we're going to use, I'm going to use a one of the Velcro dots to keep it closed. you could use a magnet or whatever. You could, you know, punch a hole in it and tie it, or however you want to. So this is going to be the front. I'm going to have this as, I think I might want to make that a little bit, do I want to make it a bit shallower? No, I'm going to leave it like that. I was going to cut a little bit off the top, but no, I'm happy with it the way it is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a slot in the top. So I'm going to use my slot punch to make a slot in the top. So I have tidied my desk, Tracy, just for you. It's like, you know, if you came around for tea, I'd be tidying up. I think there's a German word that's like that means that. It's basically like when you go around tidying your house for guests. So I felt like I had to do that because you're on camera. I've got the clean side of my mat visible. I can't promise I'm going to put the pin back in my glue because, you know, I can change some things. I can't change everything. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to have that like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue down one half of it, but not all the way over to the full half, otherwise there's a chance I could go over onto the other side and glue it shut. So I'm not going to try and do that. I'm just going to put a significant amount on one side, and that will just keep it all nicely closed. So this is from various different pages, the stuff that I'm using from various pages in the kit. It was all too nice. I was, I don't know what to use, I really don't know what to do, etc. But I've wanted to make one of these gatefold style cards tags for a while. So I thought, well, this is the ideal opportunity. Okay, so on the inside, I am going to create some pockets. Okay, so I'm going to decide which one I want to use. Do I want to use the red or what's on the back? Yes, let's use the green on the inside. So what I want is, I want a little corner pocket. Now I know it seems strange that you've got the middle here and you could have a nice pocket in the middle, but I want to put another tag in. So I'm going to have a corner pocket over on this side. Okay, so before I stick this down this time, I'm going to ink it, because otherwise I lose the window of opportunity to do so. So I did have a green, oh, it's there. So this is my, not Tim Holtz, this is Shilper, I think it's by. It's Artistry ink pad. It's just like this because it's that kind of green. I tend to make a lot of utilitarian stuff, so it's kind of that utilitarian green colour that I like. So I've just inked the edge so you can't see the white bit. So, and then I'm going to glue down on two sides, like L-shaped. So you just got to remember which side you're putting it down. So it's going to be this side, which when you flip it over is this side. I'm not telling you, I'm telling me. So, yeah, so it's been something that's kind of been playing in my head, thinking, oh, what am I going to do? And like I kept going away from this and then coming back to it, and you know, this is the thing that I kept coming back to, so that's what we're making. So we've got this little thing here, okay, and that's going to be a pocket for another tag. Okay, then we're going to have some pockets here, okay. We're going to put a couple of pockets in. Now, this time I'm going to use some of the card from the front, so that's the reason why I put it over there and didn't get rid of it. Although I put that over there, I should have got rid of that. A little bin to my left-hand side, so I'm going to use this, and this bit measures 2 inches because we scored it at 2. So we just want to cut it down so that it measures, the pocket measures about 1 3/4 wide. Move that out of the way, Dave. 1 3/4 wide. Slightly tearing on my trimmer, but never mind. and then we're going to have it at 1 1/4 inches deep. We're only having a little shallow pocket, so we're going to do the same again and have another one same size. 1 1/4, wherever that is there. So if you're new here, then, you know, hello and welcome. Hope you've been following along with all of the other wonderful artists. You know, honestly, I've been watching, but then trying not to watch. It doesn't make any sense if I say it like that. I've been watching them, but thinking I shouldn't really be watching this, because like it can make you feel a bit overwhelmed and make you think, I can't be as good as these people. But you know what? You don't have to be. You just have to be you. And I'm definitely me. I am, warts and all, me. I am what I am. I am my own special creation. So what I'm going to put in here is I'm going to put some of these, which are like little tickets, and they've got these notches, which anybody that's has ever known me will know I do not like fussy cutting. Okay, so I think I'm going to have that a little bit lower, about there. And I'm going to show you what I do in order to cut around that little shape. Okay, because I'm not a fussy cutter, and I definitely don't like doing anything with a shape to it. Now I know you can use your Brother Scan and Cut or your Cricut, but there are people out there that don't have them. I do have them, but I don't use them for fussy cutting. I'm going to pop that there, and what I'm going to do is, before I just stick it down, I'm just going to push it in a little so that it kind of puckers out at the top, and that just makes it a bit easier when you're trying to get your ticket in the top. So to cut these, I've got this punch, and although it's a little bit big, so when I put it in here, you'll see that it doesn't quite fit that circle, if you can see that. It doesn't quite fit that circle, but once you've snipped it out, nobody will ever be the wiser. Well, they won't be if they get all of the white, Dave, but... And that way then, there's not so much fussy cutting. If you're a fussy cutter, if you like fussy cutting, then fantastic. I know somewhere I can send mine. So, I mean, my friend Brian, who is also doing today, by the way, so he should be doing a video on the same day as me. He does like fussy cutting, so I tend to send them to him when I need things fussy cutting. You know, when you send your stuff out to be done. So it's like ordering a takeaway. You know, it's better when somebody else has made it. So, so I'm grateful to you, Brian, for, you know, being there and doing these things. I got Brian into crafting, so he is a fabric artist by trade. Well, he was a fabric artist, he was a designer, but I got him into papercraft, and now I've got a crafty friend that I can go craft shopping with, and you know, because that's a whole other hobby in itself, isn't it, craft shopping. It's when I say hobby, it's more of an obsession. So I want it about there. I'm just going to pop that on there, and then again just push it together ever so slightly, just at the top, just so that it puckers out a bit, and that way then you're not fighting to try and get your tag in the top, and it should just then sit in there, which it do. Leave you out of the way, don't need you for now. So I'm going to have a tag in here, one of them, don't know which one. I think I want him in there. I think I want him because the orange goes with the orange. So, and I think I might actually pop him onto some card. So I might use one with, yeah, let's use some blue. So we're going to mount him onto some card. again in the same way as I did before, and then just, oh Dave, before you do that, put a little bit of colour around the edge, no matter what colour it is, just as long as it's not white. Nearly got the glue and the ink pad together, mixed together. That's happened before a few times, because you have to have a brain to remember what you're doing. So, and this is where I go wrong all the time. So, you know, when somebody comes over to you and says, can I just pick your brain? And I always say, well, I didn't, so I'm not necessarily the person to speak to. So anyway, so stick this down. So if you came for the silence, you're in the wrong place. I don't do silent. It's very rarely am I silent. There's something wrong. My mum always thought I was up to something if I was silent. So she still thinks that. So she can tell I'm being silent from 120 miles away. So. Again, just making this, giving this a bit of a shape, following it around. So it was very exciting. Tracie is a fantastic person, as we all know. Everybody loves Tracie. Everybody knows who she is, and everybody has used a Tracie label in the past. They're called Tracie labels. They're no longer just called labels or Denison labels, or they are called Tracie labels. So, and I've heard people far and wide refer to them as Tracie labels. So anyway, I'm lucky enough to have been chosen for this, and I'm really grateful to. Right, okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a hole in this. So rather than a slot, I'm going to use a hole. I'm going to get my hole maker thing. Hole maker. Oh no, it's not. I was thinking moonraker, but like, there we go. So I've got a hole in there. Let's see if I can try and see if we can get a bit of ink in that. It's better. Okay, and then what I'm going to use some of my string. So I've been dyeing string again. So this is saffron. This is, I think this is a fruit tea. This one is matcha and green tea, I think. I think I'm going to use a few of these just to go together on a. I dye them all with all sorts of things, different coffee and tea and whatever I have to hand. I drink a lot of fruit tea, so and I've got some fruit tea bags that I've drunk, and then I keep the tea bags and then reuse them and put some string in with them this time. So a second brewing is for the string, and that's why anybody that ever had to live with me, so Vic, in the future when he has to live with me, he'll be like, oh yes. Yes, Vic, this is my life, it's my life. There we go, pop them in there. Move you out of the way for a minute, I don't need you for now. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make some tuck spots down here, okay? And what I did was I got these. Now these are from one of the pages of the kit that has got, I'd love to show you it, but I thought I had it to hand, and when like you say, you're going to do something with, oh, it is, I know where it is. It's here. So I've got the whole kit printed here. It's actually from this page. So there are some already cut out. Well, not already cut out, but already, you know, put on a white background for you to be able to cut out. But these are the ones I particularly like. So I've cut this one out. I've cut this one out. I've cut one of these out. I think it was that one. Oh no, it was that one. And I've also cut one of the little ones, this one, out as well. So I used those, and all I've done is I've fussy cut them. Yes, I know, me fussy cutting. The world has stopped revolving, I believe. So I did have some. I did have some somewhere. If I only had a brain. There you go. I've got some Tim Holtz lumberjack plaid, and I'm going to just put a little bit of colour around the edge, just because I can, and because it'll stop it looking so bright white on the edge of all of these. And you know, if you don't mind the white, then leave it, but I'm not opposed to it. It's not. Oh, well, I am, maybe I am. I've got an aversion to white guard. I tend to use a lot of if you've seen my stuff before, the utilitarian stuff tends to be make a lot of stuff out of file folders and craft card boxes and folders and tucks and pockets and all sorts of things, but tends to be all of that kind of grungy sort of stuff that is my thing. But I really love this kit, I've got to say. It's ironic because I've been working on a kit myself, but of Hungarian art. So, okay, so what we're going to have is we're going to have these are going to be, just need to work out where they need to go. So this is going to go at the bottom. Oh, is it going to go at the bottom? Will it fit? It will. Okay, so we just want to make sure it's clear of the fold. Okay, so we're going to have a tuck spot here. I'm going to have one here. I'm going to have one here, and that just means that we're going to be able to tuck in something down here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of glue across this bottom edge. You want to make sure it's got a decent amount on there, like width wise, but you don't want to have it so that it all squirts out, obviously. And you're going to put it right on that bottom edge like that, and just press it down, and then you're going to take your other little one and you're just going to put that down here, and these are just going to be, like I say, tuck spots. There's going to be one that sits there, and if it does squeeze out, you just wipe it away with your finger, you're fine. That's why my fingers end up being quite all dirty. So the amount of meetings I go to in my day job, and I've got either ink or glue or something on them. So like, it doesn't matter how many times you have a wash in the morning, you can't seem to get anything off. You end up to rub it off during the course of the day. So there we go. So that's those. And in there, we're going to have some of these. So this one is going to be saved for the back, and we'll come to that in a minute because we are putting something on the back as well. Okay, so these are going to go into little these little tuck spots. I'm going to put the lid back on that, Dave, otherwise it'll go horribly wrong. I'll end up with your elbow in it or something. I'm just going to ink these. Just ink around the edges again, just get rid of the white on them. And they're just going to kind of sit in to be a little bit of interest. So some of them might not fit because they might be a bit wide, and you can always chop them down. But I did actually, on these ones, I did cut them to be a bit narrower just so that they slotted in nicely. So you're just going to tuck them in. because they were a bit wide, and then all I did was I just cut them with a square edge and then rounded the corners with a corner rounder. So the kit is there to be used however you want to use it, and I'm sure Tracie will approve that, you know, I didn't keep to the shapes that necessarily were given to me. Please stick to the rivers and lakes that you're used to. No, don't go chasing waterfalls either, Dave. So I'm just going to stick them in there so they're a little point of interest, and just make sure that they're clear of this fold. So when you fold it over, does it fold over? Yes, it does. If it catches a little bit, you can just hoik it in a bit, or you can cut it down. Okay, hoik it in is a technical term. On the front, let me just go back to the front for a minute. So on the front, I'm going to have my day 22, because I think that seems to be a theme that everybody's put their day number on it. So I don't know whether that's a compulsory thing, or I don't think there was anything that was compulsory this year. Don't even think I needed to make a tag, but I thought a lot of you were sticking them into different things, so I'm going to pop that on there. Shall I have it on a background? Not that one. Maybe on there. Right, I'm going to have a tiny little frame on this as well. Doesn't need one, you can't see the back of it, but just because it looks nice. Why ever the heck not? You've got the kit to use, you might as well use it. So we'll go for the grungier bit, this bit down here. Put that down. Get my Tim Holt scissors out and then just cut around it. This is as fussy cutting as I get, straight lines. Except for those poinsettias, they were a challenge. You know what it is? It's because I can't do something else while I'm doing it. You have to concentrate, otherwise you end up cutting a tail off or something. And they won't be able to shake a tail feather. So, what haven't I done? I haven't given it an edge. That's what I haven't done. I'll pop that on there. My 22. Okay, and then on these, what I thought the significant numbers, I guess, are 26. Well, 26 in the UK is a significant number because we do Boxing Day. So I know not every country does Boxing Day, but we do Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas Day. It's always a, well, it is a public holiday, it's a bank holiday, but shops are still open. They never used to be when I was younger, but like, you know, there's a lot of things that colour TV was very limited when I was younger. So because this is a bit big for that pocket, I'm just going to cut this down to the inner frame. 31st of December is just one of those days, and it's the last day of the Christmas period before New Year hits, because then we all get a bit fed up. We're all a bit fed up of Christmas by then. We're all planning what's going to happen next year, and you're all talking about, we're not doing that again, and your mother's not coming to stay, and all of that. So she's not coming back next year. I love Christmas, so, you know, I even love the family turmoil of Christmas, but, you know, it's only one day a year when you have to spend time in a room with people that you don't really get on with, but that's another story. Right, now we're going to flip it over and we're going to do the back. Okay, so for the back, again, we're going to do a little side mounted pocket. I'm going to ink it this time because we've remembered. So we're going to put some ink around there, and then we're going to do this bit can't believe that my time has come round so soon. So the December daily was something I think initially had been talked about back in October, I believe. It might have been November, but you know, don't quote me. So we've got that, yeah, and then we're going to embellish it with a few other extra bits. So I thought we'd have a bit of a star, maybe there. Yeah, let's have the star there. Oh, let's put some ink on it, Dave. You know, and you kind of like say yes to these things. Like, well, somebody, the fact that I was even asked, I was like a bit flabbergasted. What? Oh, me? You sure? We were both asked, myself and Brian. So, Brian is my best friend and he crafts, whereas Vic is my partner and he doesn't craft. Although he doesn't, you know, doesn't dislike it, and he does support me and all of that. We'll have 25 on here as well, I think. We're going to ink it though, aren't we? Yes, we are. And we're going to put that on like that, maybe. Yeah, let's go for that. I'm going to put a little blob then underneath there, just to glue it to this tag. Like that, we want to do it, don't we? Yep. Okay. Yeah, definitely a bird theme going on here, isn't it? And then we're going to use this tag. No, we're not going to glue it, Dave. We're going to ink it. And we're going to put this, we're going to mount this as well onto another piece of card, just to give it a bit of substance. What shall I use this time? Shall I use a bit of red? Oh, the red brings out his berries, doesn't it? That sounds like it's... I'm insinuating something. Oh, it really brings out his berries. Oh, sorry. Like the stuff that goes through my head, honestly. Shut up, Dave. Never work with animals, children, or Dave. So, or any Daves, basically. All Daves are all the same. They're all up to no good. So, we're just going to again just go around here and make this the same border. You're very lucky. The desk is quite tidy for the way that my desk normally is. So, and I did tidy up, like I say, before I started, because I knew that it had the potential to be a mess. So, sorry, my mic's just fallen off. So, let's put that back on. I'm wearing my Sesame Street hoodie today, and I didn't want to pin it too close to the Cookie Monster's face, so I think I've got it too far under my chin, and I think my chin has just moved it, dislodged it. I'm still talking about my mic. Shut up, Dave. Okay, there we go. So again, we're going to ink that bit because we've cut it down, so we'll do a bit of red on there because that's red anyway. So it just breaks up that white bit. Okay, and we are again just going to put a punch in this one, somewhere in the middle, somewhere in the city where the air is still a baby bee. Now that should be easier to do because you've got a point on that one. What's the point of it? I don't know. Go, and we're going to put some more of this colour. We put something else on it. Should we use some of this time? This is just some baker's twine that's been coloured. I've got a bit of, I think it was just wrapped around a piece of not fabric. I I think it was a bundle of socks actually, so I do like the yellow. Or should I use the red? Maybe I should use the red because it's got red in it. Yeah, we'll use a bit of the red. I'll keep them kind of different lengths this time, so just pull it through a bit. So the different lengths. Oh, come on. Behave. There we go. Pop that through there. Come on. Behave now. Now we're on the home and narrow. The home and narrow. On the home straight. Oh, Dave, shut up. Oh, no, come on. All of you, or every end has to come through, not just one of you. So there's missing an end. Stick with the different lengths on that one. Pop those back in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have, I think we'll stick a 24 on here. We might have that tucked in. In fact, I'm going to punch out those. Oh no, that's the wrong size hole. That's the right size hole. Punch these out. Next door's dog is barking. My dog is sleeping because he's old and that's all he tends to do these days. Is sleep. Sleep, grumble about being old and the like. And then I'm going to stick this. Again, we're going to put a bit of ink around it. Stick that in those two corners, I think. I hope, more to the point. Like that. We're going to stick that. Should we put that there? Well, didn't want to cover up his berries too much, but I don't. That's alright. I'm not. And then we can put that, pop that in there. We'll ink that. Oh no, it's already done that, Dave. Pop that in there. We can stick that in there. And then what we're going to do is, just to keep it down, is we're just going to put a poinsettia on in this corner here, so we can just keep it clipped underneath it. So I'm just going to put some on these two petals. We're going to pop that in that corner. We're going to press it down. Now I don't mind it sticking out over the edge a bit, because we can always just get a bit of ink. Adds a bit of interest. And the only thing to do now is to put something, maybe this, will that go through that hole? Oh, it's got alopecia. If you go through, I'll be oh no, it's definitely got alopecia. It's not. That's not the thing to do then, Dave. We've got alopecia on that one. We won't bother with that. We will use, what else have we got? Use some of this. Get an avalanche, a crafterlanche. So this is just some wired fabric, what's it called? Velvet ribbon. So, it's not my favourite thing to touch. A lot of you know I am autistic and I have a real issue with some textures, but it's not my favourite thing to touch. But it's not. There are some velvets I cannot touch. Really don't agree with me. So I'm just going to tear that down a bit. Snap that off at the end. Snap it. No. Snip it off at the end. Get rid of that out of my. Get it out of my sight. Get out of my sight now. And then we're going to pop that through there. Because the other thing, plan A didn't work, so there's always a plan B. And you know what they say, many are happy they don't say it like that. Many a happy accident to be found in craft. Sorry, just get rid of those white edges. Pop that through there. pop it through those. The pop implies it's supposed to be easy. Okay, so just pull that this side. Pull that this side. Put that on there, and I think we're going to staple that one in with my little Bambini thing. I'm just going to staple it. And then the only thing I need to do now is put my little dot on. So I know I've told you a million times when I use these, I always put the clear bit, so you get a clear one and a white one. I always put the clear one on the bit that's most visible, which I think is that side. So I'll put the white one like that, and then I'm just going to fold it over, and press it down, and then just gently pull it apart, and then just press those down in properly now. And there we go. That is my December daily, my day 22. So there we go. So what we've got is we've got this little closure here. So little closure, open it up, we've got a little space for a little ticket here, we've got one here. We've got, just pop that back in there, Dave. That's what you get for untidying it now, Dave. We've got a little tag there. We've got a couple of other little things tucked in here. Fold it back together, and then we've got another tag in the back that's just clipped in with that poinsettia, which means that it doesn't gape on the back. Just pop that under there, and that's it. So that's my December daily. So thank you very much, Tracie. Thank you so much for inviting me to do this. Thank you to everybody that's been involved. I've been loving what you're doing. I think I might even put one of these on. Maybe I'm getting a bit excited. Been loving what everybody's been doing. I think you're all a bunch of talented, crafty people. Very artistic. Makes me feel a bit kind of like I'm in the green room of craft with all of these fantastic people. Pop that one on there. I was going to put these on, but I've forgotten about it. So I think I'm going to put that one there. Yeah, I am. I'm even going to put a bit of colour on. So yeah, thank you very much for those people who have participated. Thank you for, thank you to Tracie. Thank you to everybody, basically. And I'd like to thank my manager and my mom. No, I'm not accepting an award, not yet. Anyway, so somebody needs a medal for spending time with me. So thanks very much, folks. I hope you've enjoyed it. And don't forget, my name is Dasher Dave, and I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. And I will see you again for some more lunacy and craft. Take care, folks. Lots of love, lots of hugs, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.